records, it's music, not hip hop, not country, not this. It's music.
Yeah, it's diverse, and I think that's like tattooing. There is so many different styles out there, and it should all be able to be encompassed. And I think that's the cool thing about music right now is that so many artists are blending genres, and they're not specifically defined as like this is rap music, this is country music. You have tons of artists out there at all different levels that are blending sounds together and creating things that are new. And that's been the big thing for me. Is like not necessarily putting myself in a box that I have to make a rap song. That's not necessarily what I'm out to do when I'm making music. I'm just gonna make something that I like and that I enjoy and that's influenced by styles that I'm into and that I enjoy. And actually, like my last album that I put out in February, it's probably more like almost pop than it is like rap and hip hop. It's got elements of that. It's got some like jazz elements, some electronic elements, but it's less of a rap album than I think I was not that I set out to make a rap album, but it's definitely less of that than what some of my older music is and some of the stuff that you might dig up on like SoundCloud or Bandcamp or whatever.
It was world-shattering news that Andre 3000 put out a flute album.
Yeah, which is so rad.
Right?
But it's so rad.
But that's kind of what's happening here too. You guys are doing that. Andy's doing anything that turns him on this minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
From the country stuff that he's doing, and then his solo show has definitely taken on like his solo songwriter type stuff with the hip hop mixed in, using a loop pedal and beats, and like it's just like a mixture of everything. And I think that's like I said, the coolest thing about it is that it lends to things that people are doing all over the place. And I think that that's the way that the industry really is going, that it's not necessarily like I'm in this genre or whatever. It definitely does reach out further than just what we're doing locally too, as far as like the influence and stuff. And always reinventing yourself as an artist is important. And that's been something for me. I feel like I've made a lot of music, but I haven't put a lot of music out. So a part of what I'm doing now is going back and some of the stuff that I've been performing, recording, and I'm able to approach it a little bit differently because I have a different view of absolutely. So I'm able to do something that's a little bit different and remake a lot of my instrumentals or rework the cadences that I'm using, making things more consumable, I guess. And not that it's necessarily for the consumer, but just being able to like refine those things after years of like making this music and performing it. And I just pulled out a bunch of like random like little recordings that I had that I still perform now and listen to them like side by side, and they're just very different. I've slowed things down a little bit. I've sped up some of the like cadences and rhyme schemes that I've done and just reworked a lot of the instrumentals, and a lot of those foundations and those like themes are there, and it's just basically taking those and putting them into the cauldron and pulling them out and seeing what I can come up with. So I don't know necessarily like what I'm going to make next. I've got a few different things in the cooker with, I've got an album working on with Maddie It's Over. I'm going to work on a collab album with Grimrose. Andy and I have a project that we're kind of working on and putting out slowly but surely. I've also been getting into like music videos and stuff as well. So like I said, it just depends on the day and what I wake up and say I want to do. But
this town is unique for artists specifically because you have that lateral movement, you have the grace, the bandwidth to just try stuff for a while, you know?
Yeah.
And some of the spots that you were able to do that are kind of closing or changing, but they're a new crop of people coming through and doing different stuff. And this town definitely lets you like be a freak that doesn't really know what you're doing for a little bit until you're like, there it is. Yep. Now you go.
Absolutely. I think the big thing about La Crosse is that it's a good jumping point, I feel like. Mm-hmm. It's right in between everything and everywhere that you would want to be. Chicago is not that far. The Twin Cities is not that far. Rochester isn't even that far. So there's a lot of places that using this as a jumping point you can get to. And I think that's what allows people to stay here and thrive in the music scene, because so many people are using this place as kind of like a hub for being able to try out things. And people are coming through all the time. So we see a lot of like bigger artists regionally, some national acts that are coming through as well that allow local people to be able to get on and kind of network with. And in smaller venues, there's just so many places that I think people can get to be able to see live music that you wouldn't necessarily see in a smaller area.
100%.
And the fact that we've got 3 colleges here really helps as well, because there's always an influx of people coming in. So I think that's a really big thing too, for people to be able to create and make things.
And it's not just music. I mean, it's tattooing, which was respected by you, but it's also like you guys. One of those venues that's really small that has bigger acts and smaller acts all the time is the new Popcorn. Essentially.
Yeah.
And you go in the bathroom, and that's all got murals from Kat Dagendash and Adam Fates.
Yeah.
You're seeing
Absolutely.
painters get it. My industry is seeing a lot of growth because LCT is getting regional premieres, and then there's Gray Area doing all the stuff that they're doing, which you're partnering with Baroque. So any art genre you can think of is getting a boost just by being here.
And growing, yep, absolutely. Which I think is the big thing. You have to have that constant movement and constant influx of people coming in and doing things and trying things and making things to be able to boost, like you said, everyone that's here. And networking and creating, which I think is just so awesome. And I think that's honestly why I've stayed as long as I have. I told myself I was going to leave after I graduated, and like I said, here I am, another 12 years basically that I've been here. So
where can we catch you next?
I have a performance in Flandreau, South Dakota for a tattoo convention that one of my buddies at Forever Tattoo is throwing there. Okay. So that should be pretty cool. And then I think I have a little bit of a break because I'm doing a few conventions. So I'm heading out to Denver. So if you've got people in Denver, they can hit me up for tattoos. But I also have I have a Twin Cities convention in July, and I will be in Green Bay in June, and I'm trying to remember what my schedule is like.
So basically, if you folks see a really smiley blur go by you, it's probably great.
It's probably me trying to get to whatever the next thing is that I'm doing.
Do you have this like on your Facebook website, anything like that?
Yeah, I usually try to post, not as much on my website, but a lot of my new music is going to be up there, and a lot of my drops get at least posted there. My Facebook page is probably the best place, so Gregory Stanton on Facebook, and my Instagram is probably the one that I'm up on the most. I'm trying to get into the world of TikTok. There's so much to do as an independent artist, like as far as like socials and like trying to keep up with everything. So
content.
Yeah.
It's not enough for you to be working as hard as you are.
You have to be putting it out there and showing people that. So and I'm terrible at it, I will say. So I'm trying to get better at it. So I am on a lot of the social media platforms, so you can find me there. But I would say like Facebook and Instagram are probably the ones that I'm on the most, that have the majority of my shows and everything. So I post about those, usually try to take pictures of the work that I'm doing. All of my booking is through my website, so there's just a little button on my website, guestpre.com. You just click book a tattoo, I think. It'll take you to a little email form, and Andy and his girlfriend Chelsea actually helped me with my booking. So one of the 3 of us will get back to you. It gets kind of busy, so I tell people to please be patient. But we can get back to you and get you scheduled. And if you wanted to schedule, if you're outside of the La Crosse area and you did want to schedule for one of those conventions, we can get you set up for that too.
Bro, you gotta be one of the more accommodating tattoo artists I've ever met, like old school or new school.
I try to, and that's the thing. I feel like there were so many times when I walked into a shop and artists like weren't accommodating, and not that it's their job to be accommodating, but I think
it's
you
about
should.
The experience.
Yeah,
right? You don't want like, even if that person doesn't come back to you, you don't want them going, man, I don't want to talk to a tattoo artist.
Right, absolutely. Which is kind of how I felt sometimes walking into shops over the years, and that's definitely I think, like I said before, with the new this new era of tattooing, these new artists that are coming up, people do want to be accommodating, and because I mean, if you're not, there's always another artist right down the street that someone can go to. So it's like, you know, if they're gonna walk in the door, make their experience from the time they walk in the door or the time they find out about you a good experience, and something that they want to like tell people about, and they want to come back and see you, or that like, hey, I got a great recommendation for what to get from this artist or whatever. So so yeah, booking is all on there. My schedule is all up. Yeah, we're going to be going crazy this summer, though, hopefully, too. More music video drops and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
he's a busy man, but you can find him all over the places that we'll give you links to. They are below in the articles as well. He is Greg Stanton, Guest Pre, the May 2025 WI Proud Artist of the Month.